So you want to know how we got 40 acres so cheap? Well, here are 5 things that our property had that a lot of people just didn't like. So number 1 is an obvious. The land is on a dirt road. Lucky for us though, the dirt road is maintained by the county. So every time it rains, they come out and they straighten it all up. The ditches are also dug out, so that's something that we don't have to worry about. And in all actuality, the county is going to be taking this road, widening it, and paving it. So we knew that from the beginning. A lot of people probably didn't want to buy 40 acres for the county to come buy the front part of it and then pave the road. To us, it was just an advantage. That means our property is going to be worth a lot more once the road's paved. Reason number 2, and probably the biggest reason most people didn't want our 40 acres, is we are right next to this railroad tracks. This is not a single track, this is a double track. The entire length of our property butts up to these railroad tracks. And honestly, you'd think, like in Jacksonville, we'd have a lot of trains stop here, but actually they don't, not at all. They're going super fast, and we're never really worried about being late to work because they fly by. Also, the noise of the train. This is a huge deterrent for some people. For me, I love it. It's just like a little whistle in the wind, except obviously a little bit louder, but I have no problems with it. It doesn't bother me one bit. Number 3, our property was timberland prior to us purchasing it. So what they did is they came in, they took out all of the timber, and they left all of the debris for us to handle. So our property is not necessarily flat. It still has all the mounds, all the roots, all the stumps, and that's something that we're gonna have to take care of on our own. Obviously, we would have loved to have bought 40 acres that was nothing but pasture, but we just couldn't find it for the price. And reason number 4, there are absolutely no utilities on our property. In fact, there are no utilities down the street. So what exactly does that mean? It entails that Okefenokee Power, which is the power that would power this entire road, now has to wait on everybody on this road to agree to send the power lines down to our property. No one has built yet down on this portion of the street. So we couldn't build immediately. We had to go through a process with them. But as good luck would have it, we weren't in a hurry to build anyways. So once Okefenokee actually sends the power lines down the street, we also have to hook up our home to the street, just like any other house. There was no well, there was no septic, nothing. So we're doing everything from scratch. So last, number 5, and definitely not the least, our property is 45 minutes away from downtown Jacksonville. I am so excited about that. But for those who are looking to commute to the big city, this piece of property is way out of the way for them. So I'm sure you're wanting to know, how much did we actually pay for our piece of property? We got 41 acres of land for $250,000, which is just a little over $6,000 an acre, which is really unheard of anywhere near Jacksonville. So we were super excited, but obviously these 5 reasons are why we got it so cheap. So the moral of the story here is, if land is pretty cheap and not normally that cheap where you're from, there's probably some reasons. So check it out, do some due diligence, figure out why it is the way that it is. And if you're still okay with those reasons and it fits your budget and what you plan on purchasing, then go ahead and buy it.